Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. And in this video we're going to talk about the man of the moment in the wrestling industry, of course none other than Bray Wyatt himself. If you're a fan of Bray Wyatt, the Fiend alter ego, the cult leader version of Bray, whatever incarnation of Bray was your favourite, there is some potentially exciting news surrounding Bray Wyatt and some potential links within WWE. Now before we get into that, the juicy stuff, as always, be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. Hell, share the damn video. Wallop that like if you want to see Wyatt come back. I want to see it. I'm sure you do too. I'm sure many of you subscribers, super fans of Bray Wyatt, and are excited about what's potentially to come. So what's all the fuss about? Now there's been some credible sources, reports that have emerged, and it doesn't get any more credible than a report from Fightful Select under Sean Ross Sapp, potentially linking Bray Wyatt with WWE. Now I'm not saying for 100% certainty that he's returning. This is not confirmation of a Bray Wyatt return. However, these reports are seriously promising signs in regards to Bray Wyatt in WWE. And if there was ever a time to bring back Bray Wyatt, it would be now under the leadership and guidance of Triple H. And I have serious faith that Triple H can get this man back. Of course, if he wants to, that's the main point. It's got to be a two-way thing. And I honestly believe he can. After all, he's brought back Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Bayley, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Dexter Lumis. There's going to be more incoming, I'm sure. So this is exciting. Now, the report from Fightful Select, in summary, I'm not going to go into all the details, suggests that there's been some serious discussion from WWE Creative in regards to Bray Wyatt. And the main take from all of this is WWE Creative have pitched the idea of bringing Bray Wyatt back to WWE. That is huge. That's the standout point. There's been serious talks. Now there have been talks post Bray Wyatt WWE release. However, Vince McMahon apparently had reservations about that, wasn't too keen, and of course we didn't see anything come to light. We didn't see Bray Wyatt return to WWE. But Paul Levesque and his creative team are pitching Bray Wyatt. That is massive. Now a lot of details are emerging in the reports. Apparently Bray Wyatt and Vince McMahon just didn't really get on very well. Apparently in the end Vince McMahon just had enough of Bray Wyatt, and this was due to Bray Wyatt having creative frustrations, and understandably so. We've talked about it in previous videos. The Hell in a Cell booking, losing to Goldberg, and WrestleMania 37. And whenever he would voice his opinion or his disdain for his booking of his baby, his creation, his character, his alter ego, The Fiend, Vince would make negative comments about The Fiend, Bray Wyatt's physique. He'd downplay his physique, just shut him down, and apparently he was very heated at times. Some would class Bray awkward to work with, those that were close to Vince. However, in summary, I think a lot of the team and WWE in general were behind Wyatt and understood his frustrations. And we certainly as fans understood his frustrations. I mean, for me, it was a dark day in WWE when Goldberg pinned The Fiend. Like that did not need to happen, and all sorts of dodginess. Now in terms of WrestleMania 37, apparently this is confirmed that plans were changed a day before, and that was the final straw for Bray. Literally a day before. The original plan was for The Fiend to beat Randy Orton and there to be some form of conclusion there to that long storyline. And Randy was supposed to go away for several months after that, but plans were changed. Apparently Vince just wanted to cling on with the Alexa Bliss Fiend association purely just to keep the Lily Doll merchandise sales going. And Bray was just like really sickened with the way his character was booked. He couldn't run wild with his creative genius mind, and Vince was always that bit of a barrier. Now you got to take the main thing out of this, right? Vince is no longer in charge of WWE and Triple H is, and there's been a call for Triple H to bring back Bray on a multi-million-dollar deal. I mean, that's huge. I mean, if they're going to put that type of money on the table for Bray, they are going to invest in him. They are going to push him. He's going to be one of their top stars. Now, Fightful went into other details. There was lots of details in regards to Bray and Vince and their relationship and creative frustrations. It is worth mentioning that there was a superstar that was panicking once Bray Wyatt was released due to budget cuts. because they were basically saying, well, if Bray goes to budget cuts, I've got no chance. And then that anonymous superstar was then released after Bray Wyatt. So there was a genuine fear amongst the roster, and it was a dark time for WWE at that point, losing Bray Wyatt. How could you not get that gimmick over in WWE? And to be honest, I'd say that's all down to Vince. That's on Vince's head, and Triple H is now looking at it from a fresh pair of eyes. Apparently the reports are suggesting that Triple H is ready to wipe the slate clean, if you like, and start afresh, start from new. And we don't know what the ins and outs of the relationship between Triple H and Bray is, but apparently Triple H really wants to get Bray back, which is huge. Now, there were other reports. There was a report from a company called Slice Wrestling. I'm more inclined towards believing what Fightful say, and this is not downplaying Slice Wrestling at all, but they brought up some more information that Fightful didn't. There's a lot that's very similar. But they were saying apparently that WWE have offered Bray that multi-million-dollar deal, and that they've offered him creative freedom. That doesn't just mean creative freedom in terms of the ideas, that means the matches that he can bring to light, more horror movie type video packages. They've offered him titles, WrestleMania main events, and after all, he is worth investing in, because he's going to be like one of your mainstay players if you book him properly, and that is going to be very appealing to someone like Bray Wyatt to come back. And apparently, according to report, this was the Fightful report going back to that again, that there were a lot of there was a vision that Bray Wyatt had with his Fiend alter ego, a lot of pictures he put forward to Vince that Vince shut down, that apparently Triple H now would be welcome to bringing to light. And that is super exciting, because imagine the Fiend, like the way it was supposed to be booked the first time around, and that makes me think that we could actually see the Fiend in that actual alter ego come back, or an evolution of it booked properly. And I always felt that if they got that right, it could be monstrous. You could be looking at literally, I'm not going to draw parallels to this, but you could be looking at somebody on the level of Undertaker S down the line if you book things right. But this is genuinely the closest we've ever got to Bray Wyatt returning, and I can honestly, again, this is probably just the fan in me, but I have huge faith and confidence within this. But some interesting reports, as I say, there's way more detail. Go check out the actual reports in their entirety when you get a chance, because there's a lot of sort of minor details, but the main draw is WWE Creative have mentioned Bray Wyatt's name, they've pitched his name, he's in their vision, he's in Pool of X vision, within his eyesight, and it could happen, it really could. Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, get down in the comments section, share your thoughts and opinions, like the video if you can, share the video, and even better, subscribe of course if you're new to the channel, and we're going to follow this story as it develops. Thank you so much, see you soon.